welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll, and tonight, you already know it, I'm joined by my very, very, very close friends. First of all, we got Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, and we also have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato. You'll notice that our boy Zach Markham, is not with us tonight. Yeah, we got a giant void over to Justin's left.
Yeah.
But he'll be back with us next week. Had some things come up. We'll miss him this week, but all you Markham fans, he will return.
Yes.
On another day. Anyways, it's good to see you guys. How y'all doing?
Yeah, same, man. It's been it's been pretty busy, hectic week at work, but you know what? I'm looking forward to breaking down these shows with you guys. That's for sure. Yeah.
Shimano, how about yourself, man?
Doing well, doing well. Got a break coming up soon, so that'll be nice. But yeah, it's been a hectic week for sure, just with the amount of content that we are just consuming right now. It's insane,
Yeah, lots going on.
It's funny you say that, like consuming a lot of the content. Like, I don't know, are you guys watching anything else besides these three shows we're reviewing?
Absolutely not.
I mean, I got a couple more on the burners, but it's pretty full right now.
Yeah,
which makes it difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Like sport for me, it's like sports. It's Cobra Kai. It's House of the Dragon, which I think Shimato's watching too, right?
Yeah, I'm not completely caught up, but I'm like almost caught up.
Yeah, and then I got like a list of like 3 animes that I'm watching right now too. Yeah. It's just it feels like a lot. It really does.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yep. Random like documentary series.
Y'all are
stuff
impressive.
like that, yeah.
Impressive men right here. Impressive men. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to review episode number 7 of She-Hulk, which is called Retreat. No big deal. Got it down.
Yeah.
It's easy when it's one word, boys.
It does make it a lot easier, doesn't it? Especially for you.
Yeah.
Now we just got him to try and spell it.
I know how to spell retreat, I think. But anyways, let's keep moving. Big shout out to all of our listeners and viewers. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Apple or Spotify or listening somewhere else. We really appreciate you, and we just want to thank you. So, I say we jump in, boys.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Here's your spoiler warning for episode 7, She-Hulk. Justin, has it turned the corner?
I mean, it may have turned the corner to far worse. Far worse. Yeah. I know, like, 3 episodes ago, I was like, I'm in, here we are. But you know what, man? I think I might be over the show. I might not keep watching. Like, I don't know.
No, you got to. You are contractually obligated.
Nice. Okay.
Just blind reviews. Yeah. Just go off of what we already talk about.
Yeah, you're right. Blind reviews. That'd be fun, actually. You know what, though? I'm going to put this out there right here, right now. I am really looking forward to a potential Ryan rant on the finale. I really, because you know what? I might start like my own little rant.
You know what? He had something for me.
Oh, did he?
And it's on my phone, which is currently recording us because Markham's not here. So we'll have to save Ryan's rants for another time.
We'll have to go with Justin's jabs.
Justin's jabs.
He did have something to say after last week's episode,
right.
and just basically arguing the whole point, like, just look, we don't need to get into it. Let's just talk about this episode.
I hate this episode. I hate this episode.
So what happens in this episode? She goes on some dates.
Yeah.
The guy that actually likes her, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we think.
Right.
Which, let's talk about Josh real quick. Heartthrob, got a great smile,
Saw this coming at the beginning of the episode. So predictable.
Well, some people saw it coming long before that.
Oh, I saw the wedding, yeah.
At the wedding. I mean, it always seemed a little too good to be true, right?
Yeah, it's true. And he kind of like, he kind of made an emphasis about like why he was interested in her. I just want to be interested in
Jen.
Just Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like, okay, well, and then it plays out that's exactly,
I'm surprised.
There's another reason why.
Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't pick up on it during the group counseling session in this episode. I feel
100%.
As she was saying it over and over again, I feel like it was starting to click. And then
what do you mean?
Like in the group when they're in the circle.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they literally state the point.
Blood.
Maybe he wants to steal your blood. Maybe
that was
somebody,
the vampire.
maybe somebody wants to steal your blood.
Yeah. I don't know. I just.
Yeah.
I can't stand this show now. I really hate this show.
Oh, what do you hate about it?
I hate the fact that I feel like we are just literally going nowhere. There's nowhere in this like we've seen her deal with her man problems already in previous episodes. We've seen her realize that she has identity issues already, right?
That's like the biggest theme.
Why keep playing this over and over and over again. Like, let's do something that actually counts and matters. And I don't know, maybe have a plot, like a storyline, like something.
Yeah. Well, the issue is the fact that like they're playing it like a sitcom.
Yeah.
To where like each episode is kind of a self-contained thing. And I will say this episode, like it's not the fact that there aren't plots. It's just not the plots that we want. That's the thing. Like the plot with this was all about, because up until this point, they kind of been like tearing. There's been this a divide that's been put in between her and She-Hulk as a character. And they've been kind of this wedge that's pushing them further and further apart. This episode was all about putting those two pieces back together. So like as that part of it, it was all right in what it did. But it just, like I said, it didn't do anything that we wanted it to. Like it didn't like move towards like, I mean, yeah, it kind of moved a little bit towards like more about there being a potential villain, but I don't know how you're gonna build that villain in only 2 episodes. But
correct,
you
said it.
Like that kind of stuff is gonna be really hard. I mean, it was all right for what it is, but I mean, I wasn't. I'm pretty much, my expectations right now for the entire show are just to like kind of like coast through it, and I'm not expecting anything to be like super like blowing my mind at the moment.
Okay, well, it's a terrible show.
Here's the thing about the villain problem, is what you said, like, how are they going to give us a good villain in 2 episodes? It's not even 2 episodes. We said that multiple episodes ago.
We did. You
know, so it's worse now because it's even less episodes.
Yeah.
But it's been a critique, like, since early on. I think I remember really enjoying episode 1 because I was like, man, it's so awesome. They literally got all of the origin story done.
Yeah, episode 1.
I was so excited. Yeah. Sorry, I got like a cough or something going on. I was so excited, and then it just fizzled, you know. And then was it episode 2 or 3 where they attacked her?
Yeah, 3 or 3rd.
I think it was the end of 3.
Yeah. 3 again. There's So yeah, I think we can. Okay, what if we just start with the quote unquote villain? Okay, let's break down the Hulk King.
Oh yes.
Okay, and then everything that happened with Josh, which was at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just focus on that, because I think we all got some critiquing of that. There were actually some things in this episode I did like, which we'll get to eventually. But let's just start with the villain. So again, first big critique is it's just going to feel rushed, like a lot of these shows
Marvel
have felt.
Show except for Loki.
Yeah, pretty much, and even and even that one, like the villain, you didn't get the villain until the very end.
Correct. That's true. But the TVA kind of acted as that.
Yeah.
And also it was about his journey, like as a character, more than anything else. Like they did such a good job of, like, in Sylvie, like was was partially the villain who ended up being, you know, the next level. So they gave you villainy throughout the season, so it wasn't necessarily 100% necessary for there to be that one overarching presence through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Whereas now they haven't really presented a true villain on screen quite yet at all.
Unless it turns out that, what's her name, Titania?
Yeah.
Or Tahani? What is it?
Titania.
I'm just kidding. It's Titania.
I mean, even that wouldn't make any sense to me. Like, well, she I mean, unless they like do a reveal of a complete and different like personality arc for her, I feel like they would have to completely be like, oh, she is just playing that she is this person, and there's something deeper underneath that.
Well, I still could see a reality where she's like the Hulk King's, one of the Hulk King's people. Like, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too.
Maybe. I don't know. The point is,
related to that person.
Yeah, the point is the villain has blown. You know, like, and been non-existent.
Major.
I mean, well, the thing is that they haven't even blown. They haven't had the opportunity. They've been nothing.
We got alluded to them when we said the boss again, like episode 3 or 4. We're like, who's the boss? We were all like, we were geeked after that, right?
Yes.
We were excited, and then like nothing for multiple episodes, and then you see, I think at the end of the last episode, a doctor in a lab with a big syringe. So here's one thing that could have made it so much better, and I've given this a lot of thought. What if, like, episode 4, episode 5, we see the Hulk King who he is, and he's doing some test experiments, and he's failing miserably, and he's getting frustrated, kind of like a Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And he's getting frustrated, and then he sees on the news all the stuff about She-Hulk. And that's how he realizes I have another outlet. It's not just Bruce Banner now. Like there's another chance for me.
Yeah, there's another way of getting what he needs.
Instantly there. That could be a 4-minute scene, and we would feel a whole lot more better about this supposed villain, right?
Yep.
Because you would see his inspiration, you would see his failures, his shortcomings, why he's desperate.
Yep.
We've literally got nothing.
Nothing at all.
As far as I know, like this Josh guy doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah, he's just texting somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like if you had just seen him like when that team came back and he's just like
pissed.
Yeah, like he just like rails into them.
Yes.
Like you just get to see like
something.
Like you just see a moment where he's just like maybe beating on one of them, or he just verbally berates them.
And here's in one of the 4 that attacked her is at this retreat place.
Yes.
So like clearly he's out of employment.
So,
yeah,
he's either got fired.
So why couldn't we have seen that? And you know what? Maybe we'll see that as a flashback in this next episode. But it's still just like, man, if they could have, you're right. It's the self-contained, sitcom style story where, maybe we just have to be.
Yeah,
that's just what the show is.
And for me, like I'm content with what it is right now. But the thing is, I'm not like my expectations of what it is have drastically changed. Like I'm not expecting this to be a huge contributor to the MCU in any sort of way. That this is just a story of someone who is superpowered in the Marvel universe for me more than anything else. It's not really about, contributing to the MCU timeline at all.
You know what's funny is that like this show is like, honestly it's my least favorite show, and that's saying something because Falcon and Winter Soldier exists. So here's the thing though, right? This is my least favorite show, but I actually have a suspicion that it's going to introduce a villain for the next phase. And can I just go to my speculation of who Hulk King is? Sure. Okay, so I believe it's somebody we've already seen before in the MCU, and it's in a lesser-known movie, and it is Tim Blake Nelson's character, the leader.
Oh, yeah?
And because he's all about DNA and, like, science and...
That would make sense why they were using the Abomination as well.
Right,
like, on top of, like,
correct.
the other connections with the Hulk character, that would make sense why you would be you're using in Tim Roth's version to refresh people's mind about the about that world.
Yes.
So let's say that's the case. Let's put ourselves in Kevin Feige's shoes. What would Marvel stand to gain if they wait until episode 8 or 9 to show that he's a part of this?
They'd have 0 to gain. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it just be so much better if you just let us see the villain episode 4?
Well, maybe they don't really want a storyline with him in She-Hulk. Like, they don't want it all that connected with it, that they have something that they're launching for this point. Really, that it's just a vehicle to show that he still exists. It's a way to... It's like when you show Thanos for the last 30 seconds at the end of a movie.
Right.
He doesn't have a storyline, but you're acknowledging the fact that he exists in the timeline.
That's fair, but I guess what I would say to that is, in that movie, we also had a completely other formidable villain in Loki.
True.
Where it's like in these first 7 episodes, I feel like I'm just... I don't know what I'm watching,
Right, correct. But this is my concrete evidence on why I know it's the leader, okay? Because think about the Incredible Hulk. What is Bruce Banner trying to do, right? First off, he has to send his blood off to somebody, right? A scientist. We don't see it initially in the beginning of the episode, right? But then the Tim Blake Nelson's character has the blood, and he said we need more of it, right? And then they literally do a blood transfusion, right? So everything that he has done in the one movie he's been in the MCU has been blood related, and guess what? The last time we see him, his head's cut open and Hulk's blood is dripping into his head and making it bigger, right? Yeah. So what if he's trying to get more intelligent and he's trying to get more powerful, and he sees the opportunity with She-Hulk to completely become a super intelligent being. Yeah. And I feel like that's so concrete. Yeah. And if Marvel drops the ball on that and doesn't actually act on it, then I think that's a miss there.
Yep.
Well, yeah, maybe. I still could see it being. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. We've talked about. Again, this was literally like a month ago where we had this discussion about who's the boss. But we've talked about how it could be multiple different people. So anyone from Kingpin to the power broker. I mean, there's all sorts of different people it could be.
Yeah.
But the point is, right now it's just Josh.
Yeah.
So,
just
so when are we
Josh.
talking about Josh? All right.
Yeah.
So obviously he's not as good as we thought.
Nope.
Man,
He's too perfect. He was too perfect.
I was hoping, and I told my wife this, we're watching it, because I actually liked him. I was like, man, like she needs someone in her corner, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think, for a moment, I thought he really was good. Now, and the reason he wasn't texting, you know what I thought? Is that somebody kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I genuinely thought.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
he's just ghosting her.
I mean, I think there is also a possibility that maybe he isn't as bad of a dude as we are seeing, in that he's in some sort of a rough situation. Like maybe he's not 100% complicit in what's happening. So I think that's still a realm of possibility. He actually reminds me a lot of the guy that she dated, like the kind of opposite side of a coin of the perfect guy. That she dated in the episode a couple episodes ago, the guy that was like the pediatric oncologist.
Yes.
That was like the perfect like physical specimen, whereas this guy was like the emotional perfect specimen in the sense that he like understood everything about her and he was there for her and everything like that. I felt like he was kind of like that other part of like the perfect specimen that is supposed to be like in the perfect world.
Well, let's talk about when he's copying her phone, I guess just getting all of her data and information.
Yep.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And then,
or to track her, maybe even to track her.
Okay, maybe. And then takes a picture of her looking like she's like passed out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she was asleep. And then sends a text to the Hulk King with a couple emojis. And one of them looked like a syringe with blood.
Yeah.
Right.
But okay. It's that age-old rule. If you don't see something happen on screen,
Did it happen?
It happen?
Yeah.
And that's where I wonder if Shimano is right, where it's like, let's just say this Hulk King has leverage on this guy, and thinking like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the incentive program. You remember that? And it's like, he doesn't actually want to do this to Jen. Like, what if he actually does like Jen? And in a sense, like, he's saying he got her blood maybe to buy her some time.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, let her know.
I mean, look at her. His face, though, was like he was smiling, like he accomplished something. So
yeah, no, I'm just trying.
His body language. Did
I
not
like
read.
Josh,
Yeah.
right? I'm trying to
Listen,
hold out hope that Josh
he was
is a
so
good guy.
perfect that he got you. He got you,
and that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said there were some things about this
I
episode that were good.
or maybe he was
There's
just
some funny stuff there.
just so happy about his own plan. Like he was like, okay, I figured out the plan of how I'm going to get around what I'm doing.
Yeah, maybe. But again, like to say he got her blood. First of all, bro, you got some balls to like try to inject a Hulk lady.
Yeah. I did
with a syringe.
It is hard to like imagine like the idea of being able to get that out of someone, a Hulk's body in general.
Yes.
Like,
and maybe that's why they didn't show it, because it's almost too good to be true.
And especially the size needle that we saw, but he
bro.
probably did use a regular size needle because she was just Jen.
yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know. I think there's still some mystery shrouding that.
Yeah, I don't know how you couldn't tell that you got stabbed with that big of
That's
a needle.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
if it actually was that big of a needle.
And we didn't even see him, like, pack it up. Like, it's not like they alluded to that he did it. Like, it was just so...
Yeah.
I feel like it was intentionally left unclear.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you've ever given blood, I mean, you feel it.
Yes.
You know, like...
You gotta have a Band-Aid.
Yeah. Like, you feel that, and...
I don't
that
think
was
he
a
did,
lot
man.
bigger. Yeah.
I don't think he did.
I mean, it's very
Let's
possible.
make a call right now.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah.
You think he did?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think he did it, but I'm going to lean towards he did it through coercion.
I'm gonna say he didn't get it, and I don't know why. Again, it doesn't just like why wouldn't you why wouldn't we at least see him walking out with a briefcase or, and there's that, like, he didn't walk in with a syringe, like they put that syringe in like a case.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't see anything on his person.
Oh, Josh, why do you have that case with you?
Don't worry about it.
All right, let's talk about probably the best part of this episode, and it was Blonsky's like retreat.
Yeah.
You know, for like superhuman folks.
A lot of funny stuff in that.
A lot of funny stuff.
I did think it was quite funny.
Let me say one serious thing before we get into the funny stuff. When they're having their little team powwow and they're like trying to convince her to switch to just Jen.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we were very confident that as soon as she became Jen, they were gonna stab her.
Yeah.
Somebody had that syringe ready to get her, and then it would have been a team effort to like, hold her down or restrain her, and then, somebody gets out of there with the blood. So the whole time, like I was like, it's about to happen. And then it didn't happen.
Nope.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress.
I mean,
that's pretty funny that you thought about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that at all?
It crossed my mind for sure.
I didn't
Especially since they
he stopped paying attention. Justin,
I don't remember if they said it before or after she switched, but with the alluding in that scene to someone trying to take your blood, like
yes.
if that was before or after she actually switched. But yeah, it was definitely like they were definitely making it seem like that's where they wanted you to think they were going.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. Anyways, Blonsky's retreat was cool. You had Porcupine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a vampire.
Oh, gosh, Porcupine.
Bullman. Not
Man-Bull.
Man-Bull. Sorry, not a matador.
That's right.
It was really clear that he is not a matador.
Nope.
What was he? I don't even remember.
He did some matadoring in college, though.
Yes. I mean, you saw it in the end credits. You saw him.
Yeah, that's right.
Did.
That's right.
And
But the interesting thing is that it wasn't a bull. It was a human being that he was matadoring.
And then what was the dude who came in who was a part of the posse that tried to?
Yeah, the wrecker.
What was his like power? Or
he just had the Asgardian crowbar. That's all he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it just felt weird.
He was out
there.
of place. Yeah,
he
was out of place.
He was out of place.
Unless like Blonsky was a prisoner, and maybe this guy has a background because I mean he obviously did some shady stuff to get to that point too. Trying to fight Jen, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Blonsky's reaching out to people who have done criminal acts against superpowered individuals.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's also just the fact that like just because you aren't necessarily superpowered yourself, but you work in those roles can like warp your mind in its own right. Like for example, would you consider somebody like the Vulture? Would he be a person that would not necessarily they would go there, but that would be someone who might end up in a place like that, where he never had any sort of superpower in the MCU either, but he was very much a villain and very much, could probably use therapy in some way.
He ended up in a Vulture ended up in a much worse place actually, and it was in the Morbius universe. So
it's true. A universe you can't come back from, hopefully.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Which aren't they like doing a Morbius too? Did you guys hear about that?
No,
I'm not sure.
Get out of here.
I'm sure I just saw that this week.
You're literally gonna spread a rumor that's fake. So
all right, well, yeah, it could be a rumor. Maybe you should just stay away from Twitter, boys and girls. Yeah, I mean, anything else that was good in this episode?
I mean, I enjoyed like the parole guy, kind of like his like complete and utter nervousness was pretty
for sure.
was pretty good. It was pretty interesting, and just I actually personally liked the fact that, and hopefully it doesn't lead into anything else with Blonsky, but I like the fact that he is staying on the straight and narrow. That was kind of nice to see. Hopefully, whatever he said about his tracking or his inhibitor is actually the truth.
What do you guys think? What's your call on Blonsky?
I hope that it's like all a farce and he's actually like doing some pretty bad stuff because his character is so similar to Slattery, Ben Kingsley's character. It's just,
he almost seems fake. In some ways, like like it doesn't make sense for his. I mean, he's like an ex like
military
special forces,
exactly. Like that's
like
a hard,
super. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised because
prison changes people.
I would say especially the way that he reacted to what it was.
So, yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I ran into like an electric fence, and it's like,
yeah.
Like
why
would
were
that...
you even near the electric fence?
Yes, and second of all,
his favorite chicken, right?
Oh, right.
Okay, so actually, that was the next thing I was going to bring up. If I believe in the MCU, if they were truly going to have him have a favorite chicken, they would have shown it if that was actually what was happened.
I thought they did though, because they were walking by those chickens, and he's like, "Oh, there you are, so cute." Like
I guess, yeah.
You must have been on your phone at that time because you were
probably
bored of this show.
Maybe
happens to the best of us. All right, how about it was really cool to see Daredevil. What'd you guys think of that?
I see what you did there. I see what I can't see
Dude,
it, man.
Seriously, how many episodes have we had now since the tease?
This is the second, I think.
2 episodes from the tease. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that it? I
Yes.
could have sworn it was 3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, here's the thing though. The episode's title is The Retreat, right? When I saw that episode before I started it, right? I was like, oh, she's gonna go to New York to some retreat, and there we go. We're gonna get some interaction, but no, nothing.
Nope.
Nothing at all.
I mean, yeah.
They're literally on 2 separate sides of the country right now. She's in Los Angeles and he's in New York. Like,
yes.
How does this even happen?
That's so true. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. And what is he doing getting his helmet from Los Angeles? Like, why would he? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And nothing like. You know what? Daredevil's he's not in the show. Daredevil's not in the show.
Unless his law office is moving.
No.
Foggy in his office is moving.
He's not moving out of Hell's Kitchen. Like he's just not.
Well,
the only I mean he's having it transported, and that's obvious. The person is obviously the highest end superhero maker. So number one, so that's why he would go there. And second of all, it is actually better to not have whatever you're doing there to be in the city that you're in, because that's you're kind of
traceable. Yeah.
Yes, it's more traceable. So I mean, those kind of is how I would go with that. But I it's leaning much and much more that literally the only thing we're going to see with Daredevil is going to be
a flip onto a bridge, and then they're like, that's it. We saw in the trailer.
Which we already saw that, and she was in that clip, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
See, I would, you know what I would prefer? I would actually much prefer to see him as a lawyer first.
Yeah. Well, see,
really
that's what I was really hoping for, was that like somehow he would end up interacting with her, and then like they've already shown, like I said, her dealing with these situations, with her dealing with being the Hulk and her being Jen. It would be really cool to see a superhero lawyer help her through the issues of being a superhuman and a lawyer. That would be a really cool thing to see. And he's uniquely positioned to give her that.
Yeah. And we'll get that rushed at the last episode, apparently.
Yeah. It'll be the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, please.
Any other thoughts on episode 7?
I only have one final thought, and it's I'm hurting for some Yurton, so... That's it. That's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm here all night. So.
Yeah. Well, again, I've said this before, and I'm actually starting to tell friends of mine, including my mother-in-law, so shout out if she's listening, which hopefully she's not, because the advice I gave her and some other people, if they haven't started She-Hulk, listen, if you have a friend who hasn't started She-Hulk and they ask you about it, here's what you tell them. You say, hey, friend, I love you, and because I love you, I want what's good for you, and I don't think you should watch She-Hulk until you can binge the whole thing. Because I think if you can binge it, or at least I hope, dear God, I hope that in these last 2 episodes that if you can binge it, that maybe it'll be better. But again, the problem is short little shots of it every week, 30 minutes or less. You don't get any resolution. You don't really get any conflict even.
Yeah, no, it's rare.
Right? You don't get anything. It's
her
honestly,
conflict's internal.
All right, so there's 9 episodes, right? I'm actually Shimado, listen up. I'm about to make a baseball analogy for you, okay?
Okay.
I'll just pay attention over here.
Yeah.
So.
You'll understand it though.
Oh, okay.
You'll understand it. And this will probably be your critique of baseball. In baseball, a good batter hits like 30%, gets a hit like 30% of their at-bats.
Yeah.
Right? This show, when it's done and there's 9 episodes, there's probably going to be about 3 of them that are good. So this show is like baseball. And it's just like you gotta lower your expectations a little bit.
Yeah. Mine are very low now. So if these next 2 come out literally swinging, then
swinging for the fences?
Yeah. See that little baseball there, huh?
Sure. All right, we should
stick ball.
All right, we're talking about baseball. Time to wrap it up.
Yes, please.
Come on back. We promise we're going to continue to review this show, even if we don't like it very much, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best,
man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Well, Gibbs, you're listening, man. I need you.
Yeah, we need you, Ryan.
I'm on Team Gibbs. So.
We'll do our best to be positive, and yeah. Anyways, again, shout out to all of our listeners. We appreciate you guys so much. Please share this episode with any of your Marvel friends. Please review or leave a review or leave a comment. And yeah, with that in mind, for my good friends Sandy and Shamato, this is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening or watching the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.